and social distancing are hard concepts for people to wrap their heads around. So Warhorse is here to explain a couple of the concepts. First things first, Warhorse is going to explain how to wash your hands. You take the soap, you hold out your hands, you give it a couple pumps, you scrub them, lather them, you hum the words to Breaking the Law by Judas Priest underneath the faucet. When you're done, you wring those suckers out and you dry them off. Not hard to wrap your head around, is it? Second thing, stay inside. It's not that hard. You just sit there and you watch Tiger King or whatever bullshit you got on Netflix, and you stay inside, 6 feet apart from everyone as often as possible. If you gotta go to the store, 6 feet apart. Gotta go to work, 6 feet apart. Gotta go take a shit, 6 feet apart. I don't know who's in there with you take a shit, but stay away from them. Anyways, if you're one of these jackasses going down to the beach and doing your own little summer vacation, go ahead, keep walking into the ocean, because Warhorse hopes you get hit with a tsunami of pain. Stay inside!
This is a presentation of RVT Entertainment.
This isn't about the dead, it's about the living. It's about my mother. It's about my sister. It's about my wife. It's about the 14 years it took me to go from undesirable to un-goddamn deniable.
You know, they say all men are created equal, but you look at me and you look at Small Joe, and you can see that statement is not true.
Because I'm better than you, and you know it.
In the back, there are men and women. Seasoned professionals, dues paid in full, gunning to be the best.
I'll always light the way, and all you have to do is let me in.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly. The cream of the crop. Nobody does it better.
Hey, hi, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the WrestleCast, presented by RVT Entertainment on thebrokeninfinite.com, podomania.com, Spotify, YouTube, and wherever else we find this fine audio recording, and live on RVT Entertainment's official Twitch.tv channel, where we're talking about professional wrestling, both in the mainstream and the independent scene. My name is Matty Jay, that is TWK.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm TWK of TWK Reviews, and welcome to the last WrestleCast for a long time!
Thank you, TWK Bruce Buffer. And no, not for a long time, only for a while. I mean, you know what? I was going to say, how are you? You know, we may as well get into it, because there is some confusion. So it's DJ Maestro in the chat. He thought we were off this week. I was like, no. The social media thing was, what the post I made was, following a review of WrestleMania, this will be our last show for a while. And you know, when we come back, it'll be the first major American professional wrestling show with an audience. So it may be a while. We are hoping, against hope, it would be Greedy Code. Can you wait? Jesus Christ! I'm trying to be all sentimental. Hey, did you go check out the Tokon shop today? Give us a minute. We're just starting the fucking show. My God, like DJ Maestro's got the right idea. I'm getting to that. Anyway. So obviously, the decision, I made the decision and spoke with T-Dub about it, or talked with it on last Sunday. And this, like I said in the post, look, we could keep going, but this shit is going to get boring, because we're going to see empty arena shows for a while. And a lot of people don't. Some people think, oh, we're a regular, we're staples. Yeah, we're a staple, but we're just a riff and review. We're just riff and review guys. T-Dub talks about the news, but he gets the news from Meltzer, Alvarez, you know, at No DQ. wherever his sources happen to be.
All over the internet.
We're reactors more than anything else. And of course, when we talk to a serious, it's about the pay-per-view, i.e. what we're about to talk about. So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to keep going if all we have to react is Performance Center shows and wherever the heck AEW is filming their shit. And we could react to the TV title tournament, and we are definitely going to react to the first match of the tournament, I am sure. But again, if it's just, one of the big reasons, I was talking about it with Shades the other day about that. Is, listen, New Japan usually occupies most of the month of April for us after Mania. Usually. They're done for a while. Country's in a state of emergency. I'm in self-quarantine. I'm fine. Family's fine, to our knowledge. T-Dub is an essential worker, and he could definitely use an extra few hours of sleep, or at least a few extra hours of just working on videos. Which, by the way, congratulations on the video. That was good.
Thank you.
So, really, the reason is simple. If we don't have much to talk about, what the fuck do we do to fill 90 minutes of a wrestling podcast with barely enough wrestling to fill the 90 minutes?
We talk as slowly as possible, as well as stretching out all our vowels and consonants.
Or be geeks. And let's be honest, we are geeks. And we talk about video game stuff and other stuff on the show, but that's not the main focus. Takes one to know one, T-Dub. Also, good job keeping the humor light. Anyway, so, yeah, that's the main reason why we're not doing the show. We're doing the show tonight. We're reviewing WrestleMania. Obviously, it's the reason why we're doing this. And after that, we'll be back. If it happens to be, well, obviously, it's not going to be Double or Nothing, because Vegas just said we're canceling everything in May, and that includes Double or Nothing. So, if it happens to be an AEW show, great. If it's a WWE show, cool. Looking forward to Drew McIntyre's big fat fucking pop that he's fucking earned. And if it's Ring of Honor, I mean, we'd rather not be Ring of Honor, but hey, there you go. If it's Impact, well, I'm pretty sure we'll have a little bit of fun with Impact. Whoever starts the big show, if it's New Japan with Dominion, we'll be there. I don't know if it'll be continuous.
Please let it be Dominion. Please don't cancel Dominion.
Oh, God. If it is Dominion, that'll be awesome. Now, as far as... now, DJ Maestro brought up a couple questions. What are you going to do during your time off? Well, the usual shit. I mean, I got the Tuesday as I got TRPG Night with the Monk over at the Monastery with Lady K and Aaron and a few other cool friends. We have Ranger Recap for a couple extra weeks before that show hits its midsummer finale's hiatus gimmick. We have Toku Riffs live every Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern. I riff on Japanese Power Rangers footage and Bugmen in suits. It's fun. And a giant dude in a rubber suit fighting other giant dudes in rubber suits. And there's some CG involved in there, And T-Dub still got his videos. You still got Rift Zone.
Rider punch. Rider kick. Kamen Rider. Kamen Rider.
Rider. There. By the way, that shit is on that. By the way, the first Kamen Rider is on Tubi, courtesy of Shout Factory. So that's a huge. But yeah. And as far as Friday, as a matter of fact, you may, if you folks are on our RVT Entertainment Discord, you may have noticed an announcement from the Shades. As of recently, he's joining Phantom Rio, who's a fellow speed randomizer guy. And I've just been enjoying coming in after these shows last couple weeks and just shooting the breeze with people and Spaceballs jokes. So that I will be over there. I'll be over there making wisecracks and, you know, maybe a brew or two.
I think it would be nice for you to be able to join more streams and not have to host them.
You know, it's weird because I always, you know, this is the first major break I've had on the show. Like, I always had like one. I think the longest break I would have ever taken is literally one episode every once in a while. And this, like, the longest would have been Power of Morphicon, but I did a show from Power of Morphicon for SummerSlam weekend. If it wasn't, then hey, night off. But, you know, that's what it is. So this will be the first time in 10 years, 10 and a half almost, that I would have had a week, a Friday, without doing a wrestling podcast. It's very weird. But for those looking for your fix, I mean, I'm going to be on Phantom Ryu on switch.tv/Phantom Ryu, for those wondering. And, of course, you know, I get my news from, you know, T-Dub and I listen to the Solid Monster Sounds Off. That's a great podcast right there. Post Wrestling with John Pollock, Wei Ting. That's another great show. OS Dub still doing their shit. And they're awesome. There are many sources, and many of them are paid to do so. And let's be honest, folks. If we were paid, if T-Dub and I were paid to do this, the show would be going on, no problem. But reality is, we got our own shit. We are our own lives. And realistically, I'd rather come back to a show where we have some semblance of normalcy and something to talk about. If it's Dominion, hey, we'll see you in a couple of months. We'll do a preview and a review and a whole goddamn deal. If it's not, hey, when we come back, we will make it. We will make a comeback. Hey, I have a card. I have two cards usually. One cue card for the current show and one for the show, for the next show. So right now we are at WrestleCast number 537, which is our WrestleMania 36 review show. And the next show is number 338, and I've subtitled it The Comeback Show. So there you go. So whenever that show happens, you'll see it, you'll believe it. We'll be back here. We'll be a Friday night as we usually do. And we'll shoot the shit with you for another 90 minutes. But until then, that's what's going on. That's the big reason why I've decided to put it on hiatus. That's literally the best word to put, because that's what it is. It's a hiatus. We're not canceling the show. We're not canceled. I'm not canceling jack shit. It just is literally a case of I'm looking at everything and I'm like, there are people who are paid to do better jobs than I do. And I'm like, I'm happy to just sit back and see where everything lands. Hopefully it will not be too long, but till then, folks, do as you always do. Support your independent promotion as soon as possible. And you can by buying their DVDs or by buying their shows online. There are so many things you could do to support independent wrestlers. Most of them have a pro wrestling tees shop where you could buy a shirt. So, you know, we're here doing our shit for now, and when we're gone, we'll be gone for a while. And when we come back, god damn it, it'll be fun. Period. That said, enough. Renico wants us to talk about the Tolkien shop. That's in our third segment. We'll talk about the news and, oh yeah, fuck, the Revival are gone. We'll talk about that. Of course, WrestleMania 36. And as always, we begin our show with the happenings of the main event. And this one, not a bad pick. Not a bad pick to end the whole damn thing. Ladies and gentlemen, the crowning glory, for what it's worth, of Big Daddy Drew. Take a listen.
McIntyre's absorbed 3 F5s, and now a third Claymore to the Beast.
The Beast is still stirring. McIntyre daring Lesnar. Get back up.
Butcher me. Butcher me.
Claymore! A 4th Claymore! Drew McIntyre fulfills his destiny! McIntyre is WWE Champion!
And the new WWE Champion, Drew McIntyre!
I cannot believe it.
3 F5s, 4 Claymores. Your winner and new heavyweight champion of the world, Drew McIntyre. This guy deserved the belt, and he deserves a pop. But, for all it's worth, the whole damn crew deserves a standing ovation. Yes, including Vincent K. McMahon for what we just saw. 2 nights of WrestleMania from the Performance Center and other various locations. We will get to those various locations as we go along. Night 1, April 4, Saturday. It started with they had a kickoff, and they had a kickoff with some pre-show matches. The pre-show for night 1 was Cesaro versus Drew Gulak. Cesaro went over Drew Gulak for 25. Did you watch the kickoff by chance?
No, I did not.
All right, I didn't either. I only watched the main shows proper. So if you folks watch the kickoff, and if you folks in the chat, let us know what y'all think. And by the way, thank you, Mike Shell, for he says that your efforts are your efforts are well appreciated. We appreciate you folks coming in for our efforts. Jay Coggins, JC, he said he did, and it was decent. Awesome possum. All right, match number 1, the opener for WrestleMania 36 from the Performance Center was Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross defeating the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane, new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, and went 15:05. They did okay. It was a solid match.
That it was, and it was given more time than I thought it would be. It didn't feel all that long, too.
It was the right length.
Yeah, it was just long enough to make it feel like a WrestleMania pay-per-view match, but not going so long to where it felt drawn out.
One of those solid enough that if there was a crowd, be like they would appreciate the effort. I mean, they'd be warmed up. They'd be happy for crisscross applesauce.
Yeah, it's good to see Bliss and
Cross
Cross
applesauce.
Yes. Yep,
And
they got the tag belts again, and hopefully this run will be good.
And there's a reason why they did take the belts off them, but that, I believe, will be in the news regarding Kairi Sane.
I'm not.
The rumor has it Kairi Sane's thinking of leaving.
Well, yeah, we've been hearing about that one for like the past 4 months.
Yeah, so that may be a part of it. Next up, Elias took on King Corbin in a single. It went 9 minutes even, and Elias won.
This match kind of made me tune out a bit. I couldn't really get into it, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's weird. If there was a crowd, Baron Corbin obviously would have done the heat, and it's one of the drawbacks of the empty arena style. Yes, there is some matches that do well, but in a heel versus face situation where you want the pop and everything else, Baron Corbin feeds on heat, and you want the pop from Elias getting the pin. So this one was kind of hard to get into. The boys did fine. The gentlemen did fine, but it's a case of this is one of those drawbacks of not being in front of a crowd.
Oh, 100%. And kind of interesting that Elias got the win with a dirty pin.
Yeah. But then again, you know, I mean, after falling off a pedestal, I'm like, you know what? Fair play. Sami Zayn, he defended the...
Hold on.
What? Oh, no, I skipped something. Yep. Stupid scrolling thing. There we go. Becky Lynch defended. Oh, this is one of those... I understand why they did it. Because of the different situation. But I do not agree. But I still... And I get it. Feel good moment. Fair enough. But this is one of them wrong move decisions there. Becky Lynch retains the Raw Women's Championship with Shayna Baszler. Went 8:30. It was still a good match, but Shayna Baszler should have won, boys.
Yeah, it was solid enough, but it felt like it was just moments. It felt like Shayna Baszler should have won, especially with how she was presented as just mauling through the entire roster just easily. She, on the Elimination Chamber, she murdered everyone with ease, with the exception of Asuka. She was the only one who gave Shayna Baszler any amount of trouble, and then she goes up against Becky Lynch and then somehow loses? What?
Yeah, this
I
is
don't
one of
understand
those.
the
This is
story they're trying to
obviously
tell.
a circumstantial thing where, okay, WWE said we're going to move forward, and fuck it, we have to throw the booking out the window anyway. So let's see what we got, and let's give people some happy thoughts, and you don't want the big scary woman who's bitten the neck off to win. Look, short term, fair play. Long term, wrong move. And you and I could both agree on this one. I think Shayna Baszler should have won it, and Shayna would have been, yeah. It was obvious Shayna should have won, and the story going into the summer would have been Becky Lynch's redemption.
Yeah, I felt like everything was pretty much, handed to them on a silver platter for their entire rest of the year. But instead, they just it seems that this is a case.
This is asymptomatic of COVID-19, and JC, based on Raw, they're definitely continuing with a feud. Put the belt on Shayna. Then we'll take a thing.
It just would have been nice. Sometimes it's nice to see somebody win a championship on their first try, especially when the story is built up to it properly.
Yeah. What do you mean, Rini? Mop? What do you mean, Mop? I'm not that fucking loud. Usually. Sami Zayn. Now we're on the right tack. Sami Zayn retains the IC title over Daniel Bryan. He went 9-20. Would have been nicer to have DB win the IC title again, but you know what? Keeping the belt on Sammy, fair enough.
And I like the character that he's portraying. There's somebody who just keeps running, finds different ways to run away from his opponent, and has his bodyguards back him up. Like every time he runs out of the ring, Daniel tries to chase him, but then, whoop, there's Cesaro standing right in front of him. Or, oh, there's Shinsuke, up until the point where Drew Gulak finally interferes and takes them both out. And then Daniel Bryan starts to finally get some offense in. He's taking advantage. He's about to win. But then here comes Shinsuke and Cesaro to interfere again to cost him the match.
Mm-hmm.
And it really feels like that they did a good job with this match of playing off the fact there's no crowd, because had there been a crowd, I feel like this would have been a completely different match. I feel like there would have been a lot more technical wrestling involved, but because there's no crowd to feed off of, they decided to go this route instead.
Which, at this point, I think they're waiting for the crowd to get the yes chance going. I mean, let's be honest. By crowd, we mean Mojo Rawley and the Gronk, if that is his real name.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I think we're going to need more than Gronk to do yes chance in order for. Yeah.
This one, John Morrison defeats Jimmy Uso and Kofi Kingston triple threat ladder match for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Yes, I read that correctly because, well, The Miz was sick, so he was sent the fuck home, and they decided, well, fuck, what do we do? All right, Morrison's the pick for Miz and Morrison. Y'all pick a tag partner to go solo, and whoever wins belts go to the guys. And as confusing as that was still a great ladder match. 1830, Morrison's retained for the Miz and Morrison.
Yeah, the pace of this match was also really well done. Watching this, it felt like it only went 10 minutes. That's how quickly
this is
it
one
went
of those like you hear. Okay, this was taped. Obviously, I'm fairly certain there was a couple of extra takes in there that to make it a movie, I guess you could say.
But still, the spots they did were executed quite well. And
absolutely,
I think it was worth it. And I heard I saw one person on Twitter complain how, there was obviously a crash pad below during some of the spots. I'm like, and like that's a bad thing? Do you want these guys to get hurt?
Number one, if this is going to be taped, yes, there will be a fucking crash pad. You don't want anyone getting injured and going to a hospital where they might get the COVID.
Yeah, like especially in a situation like this where there's no crowd, so there's no point to not have crash pads.
Look,
just keep them out
of
the camera.
These guys beat the shit out of their bodies, on the previous normal 4, maybe 5 nights a week, and that includes the travel. So, look, could we just forget the fact that they have crash pads? I have crash pads. Bitch, you take a bump.
Especially off a ladder.
Yeah. Because, have you taken a bump, T-Dub? You've probably taken a bump.
I've taken a few. It's not the best feeling in the world.
No, well, While I've never taken a bump myself, I have done a belly flop contest. I can tell you, they don't fucking tickle.
No, because when you're landing in just a ring, and especially like when you're landing in a ring, you're landing on wood, metal, and a little bit of padding. That's all it is.
You folks at home,
so
and during the summer, if you're allowed to swim, do a belly flop or land on your back, flat back on your back in the pool. You take that feeling, replace the water with wood.
So yeah, I have no problem with them trying to be as safe as possible with these wrestlers. Besides, why not let them at least have one easy night of wrestling? Come on, just give them one.
This is probably a case of, you know what, fuck it. Let's have some fun. And they probably devised a great match with Vince being director. So you know what? So what if they had a crash pad? I'm pretty sure AJ Styles had a goddamn crash pad in the main event during that one spot we will discuss in a few minutes. You know what?
Yeah, but also...
If you think, the crash pad's so fake, fuck you. Suspend your disbelief and appreciate the effort here.
Yeah, it's no different from any other movie. Anyways, one controversial opinion I have is the fact that I actually like the finish.
No, you know what? I don't know why it would be controversial. I liked it too.
It seems very split online. There seems to be a lot of people that don't like it, but I did because it fits Morrison perfectly. He's kind of like the opportunist type person who's like, oh, okay, see, these two guys are arguing over the belt, over the hanger for the belt, so, I'm yank, belt's mine.
Yeah. This is literally a case of, heels win. Big whoop. That's what they need to do. So you know what? Fuck it. I think it was smart. And it keeps the heat on Miz and Morrison. They keep building on that tag team, for God's sakes. Next up, Kevin Owens defeats Seth Rollins, no DQ. This was this started as a regular match. Rollins DQ'd himself, said, "You're not getting your thing. You're not getting your thing. Fuck you." And Rollins said, "No, get your ass back in here. No DQ, bitch." 17-20, including, T-Dub, I always knew someone was going to take a bump, take a dive from the WrestleMania side somehow, some way. And by the way, what was in the background behind the commentators, that was the actual legitimate WrestleMania sign. They don't take a genius to know. It's a big motherfucker. Kind of hard to miss it.
Oh, that reminds me. There's something I keep on meaning to bring up on the show. It's the fact that, what do you think they're going to do for the 2K21 video game? Are they going to put in this version of the arena, or do you think they're going to kayfabe us?
I get the feeling they might do both, because, dude, we're wrestling fans. We're pedantic assholes. We're going to notice if they kayfabe us and put, the design of the actual WrestleMania stage. But I get the feeling 2K was going to go off what they saw on TV. I don't. Honestly, 2K21 is going to be very interesting.
2K21 featuring the new empty arenas.
One thing for sure, they're definitely doing a performance center blitzed up the way that it was with NXT before the whole thing shut down. That is for sure. But yeah. Anyway, back to Kevin Owens diving off the WrestleMania sign. Yeah, I knew someone was going to do a dive off some kind of a sign. And we make the joke that it's going to be Shane doing the dive from the WrestleMania sign. Well, it was Kevin Owens. And you know what? Owens, with his first WrestleMania win, I will agree with your gif from on when you posted it. There was much rejoicing. Yes, there was.
Also, this match kind of went a little anime with the way they were insulting each other during their move.
This is one of those, Kevin Owens. This is where I'm like, this is the part where, okay, this is the empty arena stuff, and it's called Kevin Owens. And he's got a mouth. I'm like, yo, this is a throwback. This is a throwback of me ringside at C4 and Kevin Steen shooting his fucking mouth off every 2 seconds.
Yeah,
and you hear everything, and you hear every barb, every insult.
Yeah, that's one of the things I always liked about Kevin is the fact that he always just keeps running his mouth during the matches, always, always, always. And I remember him being on the Art of Wrestling podcast with Cole Cabana, and I think it was The Rock who told him to do that.
Stone Cold.
Stone Cold. All right.
Stone Cold telling him, don't
I knew it was one of those two.
Keep talking. Yeah.
I think it was The Rock who thought his name was Killstein.
Oh, yeah, The Rock thought it was Killstein. Yeah.
Yeah, because his Twitter handle at one point was Killstein Kill. So he's
Yep.
like, oh, yeah, I like that Killstein guy.
He was reading the Twitter. Hey, you know what? Fair play. You didn't know. You did not know at the time. You didn't know. He didn't know. Now he knows. Oh boy, this one.
Half the battle. Sami
Zayn. Anyway. Ole. And in the semi-main, Braun Strowman destroys the old bird, 2-10 new Universal Champion. They are so lucky. They are so lucky that A, they can't put it on Roman because Roman did the right fucking thing, and B, it's an empty arena because good lord, the booze.
Yeah, at first I was really confused, like, well, why did Goldberg lose? But then it turns out, apparently Goldberg was like, I'm just doing this one last match here. That's it. I'm done for the year. Bye-bye. See you later.
Yeah,
No
that was literally his last match. That was contractually, that was it. And it was supposed to be Roman, but Roman did the right thing. And they need to put on the belt on someone fast. And Braun Strowman Braun Strowman got the thing. You know what I read? I think you might have read the same rumor. Rumor has it was supposed to be Jeff Hardy taking the fall.
It should have been Jeff. Why not Jeff? This could have been his redemption. And here's the thing. Apparently, he this is actually something he confirmed. He brought back no more words. Why couldn't we hear that at WrestleMania? The time is coming, gone for once. 1,000 threats I've heard before. Come on, one more time. WrestleMania for the championship. Ugh.
Hell, but the plan was Hardy was supposed to take the fall. But when Goldberg said, I'm dropping the belt on Mania, and that's it. Well, fuck, what do we do? Hey, Braun.
The time is coming, gone forwards. 1,000 threats I've heard before.
Hey, T-Dub, it's not what we think would happen. It's what we want to happen. No. Hardy would have been the right choice, but obviously this is Vince McMahon, and I'm about to dust this one off for a while. It's been a while since I said this one, but y'all know the thing about Vince McMahon.
Vince McMahon likes big sweaty men. Vince McMahon likes big sweaty men. Vince McMahon likes big sweaty men.
There you go. So,
or as Big E would put it, big sweaty men bumping meat.
Bumping meat. You gotta be bumping meat. And cue Xavier Woods and Kofi laughing their balls off. They were broken by bumping meat.
My team, 5 Goldbergs, get a clone.
Get a cone. Bumping meat. It should have been Big E. Who the fuck are we kidding?
What should
Anyway.
Big E be world champion? He's got all the skills in the world and all the charisma. God damn it.
If Kofi Kingston could be WWE champion, why not Big E? But anyway, that's another story for another show. And then the main event of the night one. This one. I get the feeling some people didn't like it. I'm pretty sure Tita but I don't fucking care about those people. The Boneyard match. The Undertaker over AJ Styles with Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. This was essentially a buried alive match.
All sinners, a future, all saints, a past, beginning, the ending, return to ash. Now that we did my deed.
T-Dub, this was for years. This was my dream. An American Badass Taker with the Taker we know and love merging together into some super Taker that everyone can agree on. We got American Badass Taker, but when it was time to get spooky and dead, Spooky Daddy, oh yeah, that was the Undertaker. Powers and all.
Now that we're And he entered to Now That We're Dead by Metallica, which is my favorite song after their latest album. Good choice, good choice.
You know what? If they couldn't get Roland and they didn't want to use Jim Johnston's, excellent fucking choice. I could not agree more. Can we talk about the fact that so officially, the match was 19 minutes. That is what is officially recorded. It was a 19-minute segment. And this thing was filmed over 8 hours at a location in Florida with the NXT crew, including director Jeremy Borash.
Yeah, you could see his fingerprints all over this thing.
And I could feel like this is a drone shot. This is JB. And this is one of those. Okay, this is gonna be some comedy in there. There's gonna be some goofiness, and then there's gonna be Undertaker beating the crap out of AJ Styles.
Don't bury me, man.
No, you're cool. You gave me a fight. You're cool. And he turns around. Psych. Boot. Dead.
No.
Buried.
That's not what happened. What happened was Undertaker said, "Don't worry, I'm not going to bury you." And then a few seconds later, remember what I said? I wasn't going to bury you.
Yeah. That's right, Undertaker. You said that.
I lied.
Well, that wasn't that bad. Oh, God, you're burying me.
Oh, good idea for them to use the prosthetic hand. I believe Undertaker thought of that.
Yeah, this was so the hand that you saw at the end of the segment was like the hand sticking out with AJ Styles' glove. They had found on set. They had found the prosthetic hand. There was Triple H and Michael Hayes. They were on hand. And they said, "Hey, we gotta throw that in there." Like they're wrestlers. They find something. We put that in there. And well, yeah, the hand's taken out. There you go. And these guys worked for 8 hours. And if this is the last time we get to see the Undertaker in a quote unquote match, this is not a golf clap. If I could actually applause without fucking up your ears, I clap even harder. That was awesome.
Yes, and now a lot of people, including some people within WWE, are now clamoring to see this style of match for Undertaker versus
anybody, really.
I know, but we've now finally found a way to finally deliver Undertaker versus Sting in a way that can feel satisfying and not sad and pathetic.
This is literally a case of once this whole thing blows over and you're allowed to do filming again. This is how you do WrestleMania next year. In some way, shape, or form, Undertaker versus Sting. That's how you do it. And you know what? It probably won't take too much convincing from Sting.
No, Sting's been campaigning for this match for the past 3 years.
Hell, like there's a new series on the network called Untold, and I've been watching some of that stuff while they've given most of their shit for free on the network. Not all of it, because you couldn't get the live stream, and there are some things that are still behind a paywall. But Untold was part of it. And Untold, Sting versus Seth Rollins was on it. And at the end, Sting was like, I still want to do it. Obviously, because of that injury suffered in that match, you can't do a regular wrestling match anymore. But the Boneyard match, like Undertaker can like come back, like you do like a mega episode of Raw or SmackDown on Fox, and you have the Undertaker come out and say, "Hey, I don't need to do this anymore. I've had everything," and then Sting comes out. Well, what about it, dead man? Showtime at the Boneyard. And it can happen, and I don't think there will be much rejoicing. Get the NXT crew, get JB, get Trips, get Michael Hayes, get the crew that did that Boneyard match, and get Heath Slater just to dress up as Sting so he can take the harder bumps to take.
Also, for the first time ever, and the only time ever in WWE, to interfere and help Sting out is Sting's old buddy,
You know what? If this is their way of getting Abyss in WWE canon, even into the cameo, the thumbs up. Now, you may have noticed we have not talked about the match itself. You should watch this match. This is what we're trying to tell you.
If you haven't watched this match because you have some thoughts about, I'm not sure about the whole cinematic gimmick, just watch it. Just watch it. It's good. It's fun time.
Let's put it this way. JB was one of the responsible ones behind the final deletion. And anything Impact Wrestling afterwards, of course. So, obviously, JB's fingerprints are all over it. And yes, Vince will have to be involved in some production values, but let JB do his thing. But that's night one, and that ended night one in a great note, I thought. Night two, they had a pre-show with Liv Morgan over Natalya in 525 in a good match. I actually did watch that match. It was fine. It was one of them, all right, cool, you're building up Liv Morgan. Awesome. This is controversial match number 2, I believe of 3, because Charlotte Flair over Rhea Ripley by submission. New NXT Women's Champion in 2030.
I'm hearing a lot of mixed reports over whether or not Rhea Ripley is in America or Australia.
Okay.
If she's in Australia, then
the reason why they took the belt off Rhea Ripley was legitimate. The work visa issue for Rhea Ripley ran out. And while I'm fairly certain WWE Legal had their ball on it, unfortunately, COVID-19 happened. So, while Rhea is still allowed to be in the States because, well, she can't really fucking leave right now, for obvious reasons, she can't work with WWE because she doesn't have a work visa. So, logistically, it's impossible to keep the belt on Rhea because she can't work past WrestleMania. For some dumb fucking reason. And that's why Charlotte Flair, I get the feeling this obviously was changed due to stuff out of their control. That's the obvious. I get the feeling the booking was Rhea defeats Charlotte, and what we've read online is, okay, Charlotte will keep going, will chase Rhea, and the idea was Charlotte would be on Raw and NXT. That was the original plan, but COVID-19 happens. And there's no work visa, and oh fuck, what do we do? And Vince had to say in this one, and it could only have been Vince, that says, fuck it, put the belt on Charlotte.
it's just a shame because NXT hasn't had a strong female babyface as their top champion
and
for any sort of extended period since.
And the crazy part is, Vince said, "Well, we're gonna have a strong babyface presence in the wins." And guess what, fuckers? They think Charlotte's a face.
She does not.
On Raw and SmackDown, she's at best a tweener. In NXT, she's a fucking heel.
I don't see babyface out of her at all in any of her work. She is a full-on heel. But
there is a silver lining. Rhea did have to tap at this because at this point they needed the definitive thing in case, okay, Rhea can't come back. Again, I hate it, but it's circumstances. It's circumstantial. There's not much they could do in that case. It's literally a case of what the fuck do we do?
I hate the fact that they made her tap out, though. I fucking hate that. That's so goddamn stupid.
It's stupid as shit, and it's given Charlotte Flair another thing that she doesn't need, but at the same time, it's circumstantial. I would have done it. I would have done it differently. I would have done like natural selection or a moonsault hitting, in 1, 2, 3, and some ref snafu or whatever. But
I would not have had. I would not have had a submission victory.
No.
A clean submission victory. That's. No, just no. She doesn't need that.
It should have been a slightly dirty victory.
Yeah.
That said, not a bad effort for the ladies, though.
Yeah, the work they put in was excellent. It's just the finish just so bad.
The finish was not. No, the finish. Or no, card checking or Rhea passes out. That should have been the finish. Rhea refuses to tap out, but she had to pass out. That would have been better, and that would have built the chase till whenever they get the match, the rematch going.
Yeah, now there is no reason for a rematch because she lost clean. So what's her claim?
Somewhere down the line, they'll have to build her back up. It won't take too much because she's like, okay, she's on a warpath now. You can say, well, she's on a warpath. Okay, fair enough. I'll go back to the line and maul all you bitches over one more time. You know what? They're gonna have to do something. They're gonna have to do something. Continuity be damned. They're gonna have to do something.
Just a shame that they're probably going to feed Io to Charlotte now.
I will say this, though. Io Shirai versus Charlotte Flair. If that gets 20 minutes, I'm happy. I'm a happy Matty on that one. That's going to be a good match.
It probably will be, but it probably just
you
going to
know
end with Charlotte
what?
winning.
Finish be damned. It's Io Shirai versus Charlotte Flair. I'm not complaining too much on that.
It's going to be a struggle to get me interested.
Again, fair enough. But it's like just, okay, Io Shirai versus Charlotte Flair. Okay. You have my passing interest. Now earn my attention, essentially. That's my thoughts on this.
I just can't help but see.
By the way, we're not interested in Aleister Black versus Bobby Lashley, which was 720, and Aleister Black knocked the living fuck out of Bobby Lashley.
I did not watch this match as I went back to my laptop to start editing.
You did the right
continue
thing.
Editing my latest
video.
You
did the right thing. Yeah. This was let's build up Aleister Black and Bobo's here. Hey, you want to take a bump? Okay. You can tell because Lana's a brunette now, and you can tell like these guys were like, okay, fuck it, this is we need someone, and we were supposed to keep Lana and Lashley on the lay low because we fucking hate them now, but you know. Otis defeats Dolph Ziggler in 8:15. Otis got the girl. This is one of those
second best match of night 2.
Absolutely, and this one, the ending should have gone. That ending deserved that crowd, that Tampa Bay, that Raymond James Stadium pop.
And it would have gotten one because everything in this match was done to perfection. I would not change a single thing. Everyone played their part absolutely perfectly. I loved it. I loved every second of it.
Absolutely. You will not get an argument from me.
I can't think of a single emotion that was wasted. This match went exactly as long as it needed to, and everyone played their part. Everything happened exactly when it needed to happen. Just flowed perfectly. I can't think of anything else to say about this match other than it just told its story perfectly. I can't help but keep looking.
Absolutely. This was quick enough to not notice any major flaw that Otis may or may not have. It's working towards Dolph's strengths as a bumper. Everyone in that match played their part perfectly. I am in complete agreement. This was second best match of the night. The next one,
and
though,
I can only imagine just what kind of pop Mandy Rose got in the moment she walked out and interfered in the match, and just went boing right to Dolph.
It's hard to imagine it topping the Lindo Rising from X7.
I think it might have. It
would have been close in the decimal count for sure. It would have been absolutely close. But anyway, semantic details. The next match, though, oh boy. Look, I'm happy Edge is back. I really am. And he's got 3 years, and he's not going to take every bump possible, but boys. Did it have to go 37 minutes?
In a row?
Thank you, T-Dub. 36-35, but I had to round off for that payoff. Edge, I get it. This is a heated feud, but every other match on this card went sub 21. Every other match The only one that went over 20 minutes outside of the last man standing was Charlotte versus Rhea, and I don't think that. I think that was just a case of they just wanted to milk the submission for all they could. This one, 30. Did you guys really have to go that long? And then do pretty much, spot for spot the same damn thing Ciampa and Gargano did with the PC? I mean, let's be honest, boys. Let's be honest. Cut 10 minutes off. 10 minutes. Minimum. This probably would have been received better.
Oh, infinitely better.
Like, don't get me wrong. I'm happy for Edge, and obviously the right man won in the booking sense of the term, but 36 minutes. For the environment, like, if this was, I go back to Triple H versus Batista last year. I think the saving grace on that length of the match was there was a crowd there, and these guys were like, okay, like they're they're quote unquote being the piss out of each other, and there was a crowd to support that. Here, no, this match was structured for a crowd.
Also, I've noticed every year for the past several years, we always have one match that goes 15 minutes too long. Why? Why do we have to keep running into this? This is ridiculous.
And for Edge's first match in 9 years, his first singles in 9 years, and this is the choice. This is
9 years, almost to the date. Almost to the date.
This is the Vince McMahon approved vision of Edge versus Randy Orton. This slow, methodical walk and brawl. 1, 2. One had to go. Either the match length or the stipulation.
Yeah, I was
make it a street fight.
I was talking to a coworker about this.
And keep it around the ring area with all the toys around. You know what I mean?
I was talking this with a coworker that this should have been a Falls Count Anywhere match, so that way they don't have to wait 30 seconds between every 10 count. And by that step alone, you cut about 5 minutes right there. Yeah, because
that's a lot of fat.
Because a lot of this match really is just waiting for the referee to count to 9 for the one guy to get up. And the thing is, here's the thing. It's a pre-tape match. So
this shit's pre-tape. So like for me it's like, come on guys, trim the fat.
So because it's pre-taped, they did not actually need the usual rest spots that they would have had. They can just cut around that.
They could cut around. They could. And they should have, but I think they wanted to give the illusion of a live match.
Bad choice, wrong choice.
Absolutely. And by the way, but night one they started with like a Stephanie McMahon disclaimer thing. For those wondering, they had a Stephanie McMahon and then a montage of America the Beautiful because it's WrestleMania. Fine, moving on.
There's one thing I will say is that Edge's delivery of the ending was pretty great.
Absolutely. I think that's the one thing. If they just kept it to, trim the fat and a couple of spots, change it to a Falls Count Anywhere kind of street fight situation, and then with that spot and the emotion on Edge's face, so it's like you could tell, okay, this guy's been acting for 9 years. He's picked up a couple of tricks.
Man. He's got tears in his eyes.
Mm. Like you could tell.
I know, JC
as soon as like the 10 count hits. Go ahead. Sorry.
JC brought up the hanging spot.
The hanging spot should have been outright cut. That was obviously a bad idea.
Vince McMahon, this just proves that Vince McMahon doesn't watch anything but WWE. Because if he did, he would have known that a certain 2-part documentary recently premiered. Talk about
if Triple H is running the entire damn company, that spot's outright banned. Outright banned, and Edge and Orton get told, dude, have you watched this fucking thing? Because this spot tells me you didn't.
And on top of that, there's also been a few pro wrestlers who have committed suicide that way.
Yeah, more than a few.
So, maybe that's not the best image to show with that exact equipment. Just saying.
All right. Read the room, you fucking morons.
Yeah, for whatever reason, Vince McMahon's ability to read the room has drastically gone down in the past decade.
By the way, Vince, sorry if your XFL fucking up to going 0-2 and league running past a year. We'll talk about in the news there. That did it the second time. It's not their fault. Absolutely. Next up, Raw Tag Team Championship. By the way, the match was. Welcome back, Edge. Hopefully, you will have better matches. I actually did watch the second mount, the WWE 24 bit on Edge. Oh, the guy could go. He's like, oh, that's gonna be fun to watch when he actually has a match in front of a crowd. Got a 3-year contract. Got to use it. All right, next up, Raw Tag Team Championship with 620. Street Profits defend and retain over Angel Garza and the debuting at WrestleMania Austin Theory.
I also did not watch this match as, once again, I returned to my laptop for more editing.
Not a bad choice. I mean, you missed a decent match, but nothing home. It wasn't the big fat fucking bump Montez took on the Raw before, though. It was a box standard tag match. Nothing bad, but you didn't miss much. Other than Austin Theory's WrestleMania debut on pay-per-view, period. Is its first match on a pay-per-view, WrestleMania, no crowd. But it is what it is.
Let me know when Gino Medina makes his pay-per-view debut.
Will do. Next up, Bayley over Lacey Evans, Naomi, Sasha Banks, and Tamina. It was a 5-way elimination match. 19-20. They did not replace anybody. It was just a straight-up 5-way. Bayley retains with last eliminating Lacey Evans. There is dissension in the ranks between her and Sasha, but they're still buddy-buddy from what we saw.
Yeah, this match I thought was a lot better than I thought it would be. They actually gave it time. I thought, okay, this is SmackDown Women's Title match. They're just going to let it go like 5 minutes because they don't care about this division because they rarely do. But they gave it time, and they let Bayley. They actually let the match tell a story. I like that.
Not bad.
More of this for the SmackDown Women's Division, WWE. More of this.
Please. Yes, absolutely.
And I love the fact that near the end of the match, Lacey Evans was going to strike Sasha Banks, but then Bayley throws her out of the way, but accidentally throws her in the way of the women's right. So it's like, oh, fuck. Still messed.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's an added twist of, even though she didn't mean for that to happen, she was in no hurry to break up the pin. Hermy.
Next up is the most controversial match, quote unquote, in a long time. And I like this one. And I'm pretty sure you did too. But
100 stars out of 4.
this one, oh boy. This one, let's get the formalities out of the way. The Fiend Bray Wyatt quote unquote defeats John Cena in a Firefly Funhouse match, officially clocking in 13 minutes even. Brian Alvarez liked it, but did not call it a match. There are people
There was
who
a
are,
pinfall.
There was a
pinfall.
but there was no referee.
Yes, there was.
There wasn't. There wasn't a Bray Wyatt one wearing the stripes.
Was Paul
And he
Heyman
wasn't
wearing
one of
stripes
the
when he counted for
particulars.
Raw?
Look. I get the feeling this thing that we watched was supposed to be like the go home angle for Mania, and then somehow shit got fucked up, and they said, you know what, we got to do something. Okay, fuck it. Bray Wyatt was gonna go over anyway. Bray, count the fall. I win. This is not a match.
Yes, it is.
I mean, in WWE canon, it is, but it's not a match.
It's in the record books. It's a match. You may not want it to be a match, but it was a match. There was a pinfall. And if you argue that there was no referee, then I guess there was no referee counting the pinfall at ECW One Night Stand 2000.
You know, if we're going to argue semantics, fair enough. Also, you picked the wrong dude to do this.
What the hell was that?
Titus O'Neil was not the right call. Though the meme face, fine, but I have no idea what I just saw.
At the end. I just love that reaction because that was just perfect. Because how do you get a normal person to react to that?
No, there was another button I need to hit. And what the hell is that for sure? This is such good shit, which, by the way, I'm amazed Vince approved that.
Yeah, apparently the main producers of this match were Cena, Wyatt, and Bruce Pritchard.
And so NXT crew did the Boneyard match. This is the Stanford crew. They were at Stanford for some of those spots. Because that big SmackDown fist, that's in the warehouse in Stanford.
I love all the callbacks, all the ways they were able to tell a story. And the story was of John Cena's insecurities getting the best of him.
Yeah.
The
story was his regrets on not turning heel. You know, they had the NWO stuff, the cage, like the blue bar cage, Saturday night's main event low backdrop in the background.
Using obsession.
It was an obsession. And there was a battle rap, and there was Bray Wyatt, old school Bray Wyatt, Wyatt family Bray Wyatt. They actually used the original Firefly Funhouse set, which that's obviously in Stanford. Good call there. And by the way,
where's the ref? What? We have no ref in this game? That's great. Oh, real professional.
I don't care if Bray Wyatt counted the fall. I ain't no fucking ref. Call it a match. Fair. Call it a match. Fair. But I still have to call bullshit.
Neither is Paul Heyman.
Dude, at this point, you know what? T-Dub, before you start arguing with me, it's a nitpick. I'm going to have to nitpick. It's my fucking job. 2, I like this fucking match.
As did I. This is my favorite match of either night.
No, for me, it's Boneyard. For me, it's the Boneyard. But I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
I just can't think of anything in WWE I've enjoyed as much as this segment, especially when they had the Vince McMahon puppet actually say, This is such good shit.
And Vince approved it. Like, this guy is so much up his own ass that he doesn't listen to his former employees literally take a shit on him outside in the outside world.
He's like, I do say a lot. Yeah, put that in. It'll be great.
And every wrestling fan in the world just went. Cena and Wyatt are more in tune, and Bruce Pritchard himself too. They're more in tune with the crowd and Vince is in 2020, and that's a sad ass commentary.
I just love everything about this whole match right here. I just love every second of it. This is so amazing, such a trip. I would not replace it.
And that's what it was. And that's what it was. This is a drug trip. And yeah, you could say Bray Wyatt was the referee, but I could have been a referee, and then in the trip could have been Bray. Look. It is. I'll be honest. Yeah, I'm nitpicking because I have to, and you need a fucking ref in there for fun. You couldn't have gone Brian Hebner in the old SmackDown shirt for the battle rap segment. You know, the old SmackDown ref shirt. He used to do the beatboxing. Could have gotten someone like that.
But unfortunately, Hebner seemed to still be persona non grata in WWE.
Yeah. Sadly. And in the main event.
The semi-main event.
No. Main event. Match number 10 is a dark match. T-Dub, we will argue over the Firefly Funhouse match. That's fair. We're not arguing over what was the main event of night two.
But Monday Night Raw.
Fuck that match. Fuck that match. That was that happened. That was filmed at WrestleMania, but the credits rolled. It was Drew McIntyre at the end of the night. That was it. But we'll have to bring it up because it aired on Monday Night Raw. Anyway, Drew McIntyre, Big Daddy Drew, defeats Brock Lesnar, 435 WWE title, and the new. Hey, Slater Gator, Eighth, Miss Kids, TikTok, buddy, TikTok. Get your ass on that world title hunt.
He's going to win the Money in the Bank in the empty arena match.
Look,
Sami Zayn's going to have Jinder
Mahal's in his boy stable. It's right. Jinder Mahal can't be in the boy stable because boys and OSW rules. If you're a world champion, you're fucked.
Actually, they made an exception for Jinder Mahal.
That's true. I remember. Yeah, they did make an exception. Okay. So he is in your boy stable, and we fucking love Drew McIntyre. Look, Jinder Mahal, world champion, still one of those controversial things ever. I laughed my ass off. I'm like, this, by all rights, should not have fucking happened in the first place. This was just a cash grab for the Indian market, which, by the way, didn't work. But
I'd say it did work because it got me a Switch.
That's very true. There was a Switch involved. There was a bet. I remember that. But
and because of that one moment, I'm now playing Animal Crossing on my Switch.
How was that, by the way?
Really excellent. It's
nice.
Weird. One moment changes the course of history. If Jinder Mahal had not won, I might not be playing Animal Crossing right now.
There you go. That being said, though, Drew McIntyre fucking earned this one. The win in general, not in the match as well. It's literally just 3 F5s and a couple of claymores, 4 to be precise. That's the match.
Also, 3 German suplexes.
Yeah.
Because you need it. You
gotta get it. You gotta get in that suplex city.
One thing I do like is Paul Heyman's involvement, because he was constantly yelling advice to Brock. Like when at one point Drew was going for a claymore again, Heyman's like, "Move out of the way! He's coming for another claymore!" And then Brock moved out of the way because he heard him.
Yeah.
So that's actually a nice touch. But after a while, Drew hit him with enough claymores to where Brock wasn't hearing anybody, let alone Paul Heyman.
He was out on his feet, so to speak. One more claymore, uno, dos, tres. New heavyweight champion of the world, Big Daddy Drew. Cue credits. We're all happy. He's pointing to the camera. I know you. I see you. This one's for you. Thank you. His way of acknowledging, hey, yes, there wasn't a crowd, but I could hear you. Nice touch.
And
good,
you could
good
tell
awareness.
that you could tell this moment meant a lot for him, and I can only imagine, had COVID-19 not fucked everything over, just the reaction from all over the UK.
Tears.
Could you imagine? Imagine?
There would not be a dry eye in the damn house.
Could you imagine the reaction from all the different bars across the UK?
If they were allowed to be in bars, good lord, yeah.
Yeah, because, when Becky Lynch won at WrestleMania, all across Ireland was going crazy. I saw
they were going nuts.
Yeah, so many Irish pubs, of them going nuts. I can only imagine the same thing happening in the UK. But still, you could tell that this moment meant a lot to Drew just from his reaction. He was not holding anything back.
No, and you know what? The first episode of Raw live in front of a crowd, you put Drew McIntyre in front of that crowd. You enjoy basking in the blow of showing. You let him enjoy the moment of being world champion in front of a crowd. If only for a few moments.
I guarantee you, WWE is going to have, at least for the first month back, is going to have red hot crowds nonstop.
I think anyone that's running a mainstream company with a good crowd is going to get that. AEW is going to have a red hot crowd, or a hotter crowd when they go back in front of a crowd. WWE is going to, if they're smart in organizing their city tour for a while, they're going to get hot fucking crowds. Ring of Honor is still going to be around. They've stopped filming matches. I believe, I don't remember who asked earlier, but someone asked about Ring of Honor news. Well, they haven't. Well, obviously they stopped production because, well, duh. But no, that's about it. But they're still around.
Yep, all different companies are still around. They're just waiting to do shows again because right now the only real companies I'm currently seeing do empty arena shows are WWE, AEW, and I think Tokyo Joshi Pro.
Yeah, Joshi Pro, they try, but obviously that's been shit canned for a couple of weeks for them. Impact might do empty arena shows, but that's a maybe. It's a
Impact
big
is
maybe.
used to do. I think Impact might end up doing cinematic stuff since they're already used to doing a ton of that anyway. So I could see them going down that direction.
And it's been their wheelhouse for a while anyway, so it only makes sense. So this next match is officially off the books as a quote-unquote WrestleMania match. But since WWE filmed all their shit, and, officially, Drew McIntyre versus Brock was deemed the main event. WWE, as announced it as such, that was it. Cue credits, fade to black, cut, print, kill the pig. WWE says you won't believe the shocking aftermath. So yeah, folks, WrestleMania had a dark match main event, quote unquote. So the whole segment, as aired on Monday Night Raw, and this will not figure into my review of the show. I'm just saying this because it's on the wiki. This aired on Raw. They had Drew McIntyre come out, and they had already switched out the side plates, so it's Drew McIntyre's side plates. They got an interview bot number 777 arm bar, telling her, "Hey, congratulations, how do you feel?" And Drew McIntyre's cutting a promo that they've acknowledged that this was about 20 minutes after the match had concluded, and out comes Big Show in full gear, with a referee in tow. And he says, "I don't want the championship, but I want to fight you." And no, this was acknowledged as a WWE championship defense. But it like it mattered. Drew McIntyre retained. It was 6:55 officially. And this was indicated as a dark match aired on Raw. So officially, this is off the books as a WrestleMania match, and this will not count in my review, but it happened after the quote-unquote filming stopped, and this was just literally a case of Vince and Drew went, "Well, how do you feel?" I was, "Well, I threw a couple of suplexes. I think I could wrestle a little bit more." Big Show goes, I can. And plus, I got to plug my Netflix show, which is not bad, by the way. Cheesy. And that's it. That's WrestleMania. The match happened. What do you want me to do? T-Dub, 2 nights. The WrestleMania too big for one night. What say you ratings wise?
I guess I'll give this show a 3.5 out of 5. No,
you're thinking the same thing, actually. I think. Go ahead.
I can't but think either 3 or 3.5. I'm stuck.
I
can't choose.
Well, let me tell you, 3.5. If this was in front of a crowd, this would probably have gone to 4.
Maybe.
This probably would have gone to a couple of switch arounds, and I could see why you're thinking of it, you're thinking about it and everything else, because there was a few spots that earned some groans. The length of the last man of Edge's first match back was definitely a half a point down. So for me, it's 3 out of 5. Look, it's obvious the crew that showed up to play. Like, okay, this is not going to be the Mania we expect, but this is still WrestleMania. Let's fucking go. So
yeah, and the one thing,
fair play to the
I will
crew.
give
Fair
credit-
play to the crew that busted their ass in that ring and in other various locations.
And the one thing I'll definitely give credit to them for is the fact that this was overall 2 really well-paced nights.
Yeah.
I think that it's really nice to see a show go 3 hours instead of 8.
Yeah, the total length was just a tad under 7 hours all told. Like if you just watched both nights back and forth, that's a day's work literally in that case, including the half-hour lunch break.
Which, is still way better paced than the past few years. And I think this would be a much more tolerable way to go than watching 1 8 and like whatever hour WrestleMania just where it starts at 7.
8
and ends at
hours
midnight.
pre-show included. Yeah, last year was a slog.
We don't need shows ending at midnight.
No, we don't. 11 o'clock, 11:30 if you must, but that's it. That's the cutoff. Anyway. All right, that being said, yeah, 3. So for you, I'm assuming still 3 out of 5? Or 3.5 out of 5? 3 1/4. Split the difference. Why not? Okay. One last time for a while, anyway, I says it's time for your email and comments of the week. Send them at the WrestleCast at gmail.com. Our email this week, as per always, you know who it is, T-Dub. One more for the road. Let's do it.
What a wrench!
Dagu! There you go. Hello, WrestleCast. It'll be weird not listening to you until further notice, COVID-19, and the fact that only AEW and Dynamite is watchable in that period. And that's not a bad thing. And NXT was actually pretty decent this week, too. We'll get that down in a few minutes, of course. But at least it's not canceled. That's what I'm saying. Besides, I don't want you guys suffer through weekly WB shows and empty arenas. By the way, kudos to the YouTubers who had to sift through these. Until then, as always, hope you are okay and you have taken yourself of yourself and your loved ones. Let's get into it. WrestleMania 36 and empty arena boogaloo. I'm conflicted. On one hand, it's huge. Congratulations for them to throw a good pay-per-view despite the circumstances, and on 2 nights. On the other, they should have postponed it since they're missing one major key: the fan interaction. Then again, Vince pretty much don't care about the virus and wants his WrestleMania, so what can you do with a stubborn billionaire? My favorite moments, both cinematic matches, the Boneyard and Firefly Funhouse matches, well done in terms of camera work. Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte was great, with the shocker that Charlotte was a new NXT Women's Champion. Also, Rhea Ripley as Vegeta. I expect her to wrestle Shauna dressed as Goku if that ever happens. Yeah, we should comment. But Rhea Ripley, huge DBZ mark. She had back in the Indies, she had a Vegeta inspired gear back then. So there's a picture of that. There's proof. There's photographic proof of the comparison. So the colors,
yes,
they were noticed.
Yeah, Rhea shared it. Rhea shared on her own Twitter.
It's on her Instagram as well, but I can confirm. But yeah. The 3-way ladder match, despite the ending. Kevin Owens diving from the top of the WrestleMania board. You crazy bastard. That's my boy. That's my boy. And crazy? You don't even know the half of it, Otaku. No, you don't. You don't. You claim you do, but you don't. Well, Otis finally got Mandy. What you know? He carried her out of the bodyguard, walking on top of the mountain. Megaphone on. I fucking called it, fellas. Sorry, Popo, wasn't there. Took a gallon of LSD. Popo, all these squares make a circle. All these squares make a circle. And McIntyre finally winning the WWE World title from Brock Lesnar. Thank God. My least favorite moments include Baszler versus Lynch for one. I felt a little too short and Baszler lost. Yes, it was thanks to a roll-up, which technically keeps her strong, but what's next for Becky? She beats everyone? That's a bad sign. Braun Strowman, new Universal Champion against after squashing Goldberg. Shocked, but I don't know if it was too late for him, and his momentum has been lost for a long time. Edge versus Orton, last man standing match. Not that good in the moment Orton choked Edge with the workout equipment. Not cool. Benoit reference in parentheses. The shenanigans with Gronk, nothing much to say. Overall, I'm giving it a 3.5 out of 5. Should have been higher on with the pandemic situation. That shouldn't have happened. AEW Dynamite, solid episode as always. Like the tag match between best friends and best-er friends, Omega and Nakazawa. Shida versus Baker was solid. I thought it was great. And I enjoyed the build-up between Moxley and Hagar, and Cody versus Spears was a good main event. Also, more Jericho on commentary, please. I think TW and I can both agree on that. Winners! WrestleMania 36 cinematic matches. Well done as a whole. Kip Sabian demanding Penelope Ford in marriage. And she said, super, yes, congrats to both of them. That's on his Instagram, by the way. This week's episode of Dark Side of the Ring with about the Brawl for All. Little did I know Vince wanted to bring it back on NXT of all places. Yeah. God damn it, Wade Barrett, because Wade Barrett's a former Barrett and Knuckle boxer. Bring back that gimmick. Oh, God. Also, enjoying these moments when Jim Cornette wants to kill Vince Russo is always a pleasure. You know, T-Dub, we nowadays do not like Jim Cornette, but God damn it, when he gets on those fuck Vince Russo rants, it's kind of hard it's kind of hard hating him.
No, it isn't. And I have my thoughts on that on the third segment.
Fair enough. It's hard, but I still... No, it's kind of hard to hate him, but I still do. Is what I meant to say. But, you know.
It's not hard for me. I have my reasons, which we'll get to.
You know what? Yeah, you know what? Let's wait to the third on that one. The revival being released from WWE. Here's the issue with the current pandemic situation. That would be hard to go to another wrestling promotion other than AEW. I wish them the best. I think that's the point. I think they want to go to AEW. Tag division. That's their thing. Say yeah. Edge and Orton on... Edge versus Orton at WrestleMania 36. Love the build-up, but the match ruins it. Completely off subject, but a personal for myself about Toei Tokusatsu World's official YouTube channel. Hey, Fracho Talk, I didn't know you were a Toku nut. That's awesome. The best part is I can watch first episodes of obscure metal heroes like Jiraiya, John Person, who fights for justice, by the way. And the Super Rescue series, Red Spectre, Celebrate, and Exceed Craft with subtitles nonetheless. The only issue, Metalder and B-Fighters series are blocked in my country, I assume because of Saban. That's what we've heard as well. If you don't have the same issue in the U.S., we do not have access to B-Fighter. And I don't think we have access to Metalder because of Saban. So, yeah. Also, I'm fairly certain the loser was because they got blocked for after 5 hours of being officially uploading their shit. The bots literally killed their fucking channel for 5 hours. No, that's true. They got copyright banned for 5 hours because because allegedly they forgot to whitelist the channel. They did not keep the bots at bay. Ranger Liz and Easy Rider laughing their asses off. No joke. We start Toka Riffs live, but we start the call half an hour early. I'm sitting down, and we're just shooting the breeze. 2 minutes later, John's on the Shades is on the floor laughing. He just finds out about that YouTube channel crashing and burning. Until next time, I assume SummerSlam. God, this will be long. Take care of yourself, and in the meantime, crashes into their house. Ninjas kidnap Samoa Joe. Wait a minute. Crash inside the house. Ninjas who kidnapped Samoa Joe. Hey, you're coming with us. Him. Sigh. Static. To be continued. Okay then. Those are your emails and comments of the week. You can send them at the WrestleCast@gmail.com. Ladies and gentlemen, we shall return with the news and our final winners and losers for a while when we return. Do not go far.
And now a word from our sponsors.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Hey, man.
What's up, brother?
Oh, not much. Just browsing the web here. Whoa, dude. Dude, have you seen this?
What?
I'm on NJPW972.com right now, and they're opening a global token shop. Give me a second here. I'm gonna give you the scoop. Hold on. Now NJPW of America is moving to the next level with the upcoming launch of our official global shop. The new store will be dedicated to serving our international customers both in the U.S. and worldwide.
Are you serious?
Yeah. It opens April 10th.
What? That's my birthday. Are you serious?
I know. Guess who's going to get some Okada merch?
I am. Mr. Juice Robinson, son. Hell yeah.
That's right.
Oh, what a birthday. Happy birthday to me. That is badass.
Dude, I'm gonna order some.
This is WMOB Mobile, 12 on your channel dial and 12 in the TV ratings.
These newfangled video games are too hard. Hello, boys and girls. This is the national treasure and the world's champion, Nick Aldis, and I'm here to announce that the NWA is coming to WrestleMania Wrestling. Stars like myself, Colt Cabana, the Universal Heartthrob, Austin Idol. Hey, do you want a challenge for the 10 pounds of gold? Well, you can, buddy, in WrestleMania Wrestling. Coming to the PC, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. I'm going retro. Retromania Wrestling. Coming in 2020.
And we're back here, WrestleCast, RBT Entertainment Production. BrokenVinnet.com, PowderMan.com, Spotify, YouTube. We're live on Twitch as per usual. Matty and T-Dub. One more time for a little while. And the next show will hopefully be us talking about Dominion.
Hopefully.
We knock on wood on that. But until then, there is stuff that happened. And
first,
yeah, let's go.
Revival.
Let's go. One more for the road, T-Dub. Let's go.
First up, the Revival recently finally got their release from WWE with 0 days on their no complete clause, which means they could go to AEW, except for the fact that AEW has filmed everything up until mid-May.
Yeah, basically everything up until Double or Nothing is pretty much taped. Everything, every match in the TNT tournament, the TNT title tournament, up until the final, has been filmed. It is, and it can. I think at this point, like they tried to keep the live gimmick going as much as they could. I think at that point, I think they must have listened to this show and me suggesting, hey, bulk film everything and come back after a while, but we'll see. Vegas is pretty much canceled everything, so that pretty much says Double or Nothing is pretty much teetering on the brink. The Revival, they don't have a no complete clause, but WWE says, well, well COVID-19 is pretty much taking care of that, pal, sadly. But But here's the thing: if AEW says, "Hey, we could have you guys sign a contract right fucking now, and once we start filming, come on down," it could be.
And they've already got new names. Do you want to hear them?
Sure.
We have Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood.
Makes sense.
Gonna take a bit to get used to those names.
Now we're going to have to figure out who's who now. But hey, you know what? Good for them. And they weren't being used hardly. They said we want to be used as a tag in the tag division. And Vince says, what fucking tag division? And they said, fuck no, I'm out of here. Say yeah. Yeah, they both decided to leave. They've been trying to leave since last year. They have left with nowhere to go, but pretty much they're home, sitting on their asses, biding their time till mid-May, where they could beat the crap out of a tag team in AEW. Which, by the way, that's both our calls. By the way, that's happening because come on. Revival versus Young Bucks. I mean, obviously that's not the name they're going for, but they're going to be known as. But well, let's call it what it is for now. Revival versus Young Bucks. That's a dream match that's been essentially, quote unquote, building for years.
The only match that's been building for longer than that is the New Day versus the Elite. And that's never going to happen in a wrestling ring.
The only way it happened was at E3 for a Street Fighter thing. In fact, after that, the only thing that's been built up longer, technically, would be Sting versus Undertaker. If only by fan build-up.
Yeah.
So,
of course, another news from WWE. Gargano defeated Ciampa in their much-awaited rematch.
The final beat is what it was called, and this was every bit the match we expected, including maybe not including the finish, so to speak, but this was a case of I don't know what they're doing next, but I don't know. Gargano gets his win, but at what cost?
What I will say is Gargano is smarter than AJ Styles.
Abso-fucking-lutely. Wore a cup and everything.
AJ, with all the times he's been hit in the groin, would eventually learn, but no, he is not.
Small Man Productions present AJ Styles getting hit by a football. Doink! Ugh. Rini Sicko says, I called the cup. Yeah, you call everything. You call everything. But yeah, I thought it was good. They had the ladder match as well to determine the number one contender. So that's a thing that happened. Basically, they filmed the takeover matches at Full Sail University. They don't have a takeover, so fuck it. We got to move on.
That's pretty much what is happening. And over on AEW, we had Tony Schiavone and Le Champion, Chris Jericho on commentary.
Yeah, Tony Schiavone. Jericho's keeping that gimmick going. I love it. And Jericho, well, we was being Jericho, but this is the same thing between Cody doing the doing comms last week and Jericho this week. Again, Jesus, you guys, great wrestlers, good commentators.
I'll say Jericho outclassed Cody because the one critique I have of Cody is that he's too calm on commentary. He doesn't show
Yeah.
enough energy. Whereas Jericho, he has all the energy in the world on commentary. It sounds amazing.
Yeah, he threw in he threw himself in. You know what? Fuck it, I'm a heel. Well, let's overhype the shit out of everything and be a Chris Jericho. I think you know what I can agree with that, but I will say what Cody lacked in charisma. He threw in a lot of he did throw in some good commentary. You know, some good insider analysis for a wrestler, some knowledge in his brain there. Except the fact that I didn't know that was that dude who did the movie from Star Trek. Because I'm not a Star Trek nerd, and I don't remember anything from Star Trek other than Cisco and Janeway, and that's it. And Jean-Luc Picard, but for fuck's sake, we all know who Jean-Luc Picard is. He's the dude in the wheelchair
And
X-Men.
of course, the greatest captain of all time, Captain James T. Kirk.
Khan! Sorry, you go into that. I had to do.
And one match that showcased both great wrestling and great commentary was Hikaru Shida versus Britt Baker.
Which, by the way, I don't know what happened to get Britt Baker to get busted open like that, but it added to the match.
Yeah, these women went to war on each other.
They did. Two, that's a didn't matter who won or lost. That was a star-making performance out of Britt Baker.
Yeah, and it once again cements Hikaru Shida as the number one contender, and I cannot wait until Nyla Rose is able to leave her house out of quarantine.
Mm-hmm.
You know, once the quarantine is over, which, if anyone's wondering, it's going to be in June. That's when that's when the stay-at-home order ends in Virginia.
Yeah,
June.
And actually, you both live in Virginia. Yeah.
Well, she lives in D.C., but the area she's in D.C. might be a part of Virginia.
Yeah, she's
she's
in that part of this The long story short, she's stuck for a while.
So yeah, thankfully they're still building Hikaru Shida up, and they're allowing Britt Baker to showcase her work. This is the best match she's ever had in AEW, so hopefully she can continue this
by a mile.
Also, I love Chris Jericho's call and commentary comparing Britt Baker's boots to Ace Frehley's, and then when she started bleeding, she went from
Ace Frehley to Gene Simmons. Yeah, great continuity there by Jericho.
That was a great call. And he was just showing so much energy the whole night. Like, whenever the Bay faces were getting that praise, say, hey, they're cheating, what are they doing? But as soon as the heels win, he's like, oh, you got to do what you got to do to win. That's just the way the ball bounces. That's the way the world works. Come on.
So, yeah, Jericho had more charisma and everything else. He was better on commentary, but for whatever knowledge, he was throwing his own kind of knowledge. Cody was, okay, he was calm. He was too calm for his demeanor, true, but he was throwing... He was still, you could tell by his voice, yeah, he was still excited. He still saw the match as it happened and everything else. But then again, when you're part of the booking team and you kind of know the finish, kind of hard to get excited, just a tad.
My favorite line from Jericho this whole night, I can't remember what match it was, but it was the tag match with the best friends versus best friends.
Yeah.
He says, if they're to search my tights, they fit a whole bunch of stuff in there, including a fork. And Shivani's like, a fork? He's like, yeah, I'll use a fork. I'll cut a bitch.
See, he's afraid he might face off against the dude of the butcher. That's what it is.
And that just pretty much caused Tony Schiavone to just completely corpse.
He did. Jericho finally broke Tony Schiavone. Yeah.
I wonder if that was Jericho's goal the whole night, is to just try to make Schiavone's corpse as much as possible.
That's what it was. That's exactly what it was. And you know, the best part is, like, I have, like, you folks know what my setup is right now. I got the TV hooked up with the switch hooked up, and I got the laptop, so I could switch the second monitor from one thing to another. Whenever I feel like. And there was a bit of a lull in the action. They were showing the stuff which I'd already seen on YouTube for the most part. So I was like, okay, fair enough. Turn on the Switch. I had recently gotten Saints Row 4 re-elected on the Switch. And I felt like playing Saints Row 4 without having to plug in the PS3 and doing all that shit. So I'm like, okay, Saints Row 4, it's $20. You get in there.
Plus, Plus, Saints Row Portable now.
Saints Row Portable. Saints Row 4 Portable.
Also, it should be noted that Volition right now has confirmed that they're working on a new Saints Row game right now.
Yay!
Nice
plus, in the Switch version, I pretty much have Nolan North playing Ric Flair as President of the United States.
Oh, I chose the Nolan North voice. Nice. And
Nolan North, so basically Deadpool playing Ric Flair as the President of WCW. I mean, the United States. Woo!
God damn it.
Come on.
You had to reference that.
Dude, it's one of Ric Flair's best moments. I know there are many, but it has to be one of them.
Well, at least you didn't reference him being in the asylum.
Yeah, let's forget that ever happened. God damn it, Vince Russo. Anyway. More!
And of course, and then the main event, Cody defeated Shawn Spears via a figure 4 pinfall.
Yeah, literally a figure 4 pinfall, which, yeah, that's technically possible. When the figure 4 is applied, if the shoulders are on the mat, it is technically a pin, and that's pretty much what happened. It's rare because it's usually a submission it's usually reversed out of, but there you go.
My favorite part of the match was Shawn Spears out near the barricade. Cody has one of the fans, quote unquote fans, hold him, and it's Sugar Dunkerton. He's wearing a pineapple shirt, and Jericho's losing his mind. He's like, "Who is that? They got is that Pineapple Pete? God damn you, Pineapple Pete! Get Pineapple Pete out of here!" So now Sugar Dunkerton on his Twitter account has Sugar Dunkerton, aka Pineapple Pete.
Because he's an indie worker, and goddamn it, and take anything you get and run with it. It's good to see Sugar Dunkerton getting more TV time, if only for being part of the audience.
I just love it. Just it's so good. Just I laughed my ass off so hard. And from what I've heard, Jericho's back on commentary next week.
More goodness for the Matty. And the T-Dub, too. And the rest of the audience. All 680,000 of you. By the way, NXT technically won the ratings war, but when you're all losing when you're winning by 10,000, A and B, they're both losing. Look, circumstances aren't exactly helping them. Let's put it that way. Go ahead.
Okay, I have this thing here somewhere. Where
you had a thing and you lost it. I apologize. Oh God, Mike Shell. Who lives in a Pineapple Pete under the sea?
Sugar Dunk.
Oh God, MGF. So he's doing. He's. I believe he might be in quarantine because he lives in New York, but he's on Instagram. He's like, okay, fuckers, ask me anything in his stories. And one fan randomly goes, "Who lives in a pineapple under the sea?" His response: "Who gives a shit?"
What a heel.
What a heel.
I sent Matty a picture of Brian Cage during his recuperation from his injury, and he has a caption that I think you should.
All right, let's see what this is here. I'll put on the thing, and then put the thing, and I get the thing, and it reads, "The Cage comeback is almost ready. I need your trunks. You need pads, and you kick pads. Keep the motorcycle."
Just that that'd be fun for you to read.
Nice. Dun 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 dun. Dun dun ba bum.
Still waiting. Brian Cage versus Kenny Omega. Terminator versus Terminator.
That has to happen eventually. Agreed.
Of course, this week's Dark Side of the Ring was Brawl for All. It featured Jim Ross, featured D'Lo Brown, Draws, of course, Mark Gunn, and of course, James E. Cornette and Vince
Russo. And you know what? I hate Vince Russo, and I equally hate James E. Cornette, but those two trading barbs against each other, my God.
That was entertaining television. I'll give them that.
You know, hate what you do, hate both guys like you do, and we both do now. But god damn it, Jim Cornette ripping Vince Russo a new asshole is still a guilty pleasure.
There's a moment though where I completely saw Jim Cornette as a sociopath, though.
I think I know what you're talking about, but describe it.
So Jim Cornette was talking about how Vince Russo was saying, "It's just wrestling. Why are you taking it so seriously?" And Jim Cornette says, "This is wrestling. I love wrestling so much." And the way he said it, with the way he paused and the way his eyes looked, it's like, oh my god, this guy has dead bodies in his backyard.
This is what happens when you take wrestling way too seriously, folks.
Yeah, that's why I've always said they're two sides of the same coin. Vince Russo doesn't take wrestling seriously enough. Jim Cornette takes this way too seriously.
I mean, it's what made him successful all these years, but at the same time, dude, chill.
Also, it's good to see that Bart Gunn doesn't hold WWE screwing him over after winning Brawl for All.
No, he's not. He hasn't held any grudges, which is a good thing in a sense. Hey, look, this guy was not meant to win, and they said this was a shoot fight. I fought Dr. Death. I beat Dr. Death, legit. There you go. What are you going to do about it? There you go. That's what happened.
Yeah, and it's kind of a shame that after he won, Creator was like, well, we got nothing for you. But it's like, you told me that whoever won got to wrestle Steve Austin. Where's my Steve Austin program? That's what I would have been like. I'm like, no, you're going to give me my program with Steve Austin. It doesn't matter if you were not expecting me to win. If you didn't want me to win, you shouldn't have made it a shoot fight.
Yeah, I'm in agreement here. Hey, I won. That was a stipulation. It was a shoot tournament. I won. Dude, if you just want me to lose to Steve Austin, I'll lose to Steve Austin. Bart was, hey, I'll work. If you want me to lose, I'll lose. But I was promised an amount of money and a program of Steve Austin. If it's one title match, it's one title match. But give me my... But he said, listen, it is what it is. That's perfectly fine.
The one thing I would have wished they would have talked about was the fact that after Bart Gunn left WWE, he had a career over in All Japan.
They probably could have brought that up, but, context.
Yeah. I believe when he was over there, I think he teamed with Johnny Ace.
That was one of the tag teams he was part of, yeah.
He was also featured in Virtual Pro Wrestling 2.
There you go.
Under his real name. I believe it was Mike Barton.
Yep.
Also, I love the fact that in Virtual Pro Wrestling 2, Johnny Ace wears a shirt that says "Feel the Power."
Yeah.
What foreshadowing they had no awareness of.
Oh, they had no awareness. They did not know. No one knew. But god damn it, the foreshadowing.
I knew everyone was going to feel people power.
I'm not doing it. I don't have to throat for it. Good lord.
By the way, Matty, do you feel like watching a pro wrestling movie?
What kind of wrestling movie?
A movie that's apparently available on NJPWWorld.com, and that is My Dad is a Heel Wrestler starring Hiroshi Tanahashi.
I have watched this. It's legit. I thought someone sent me the whole thing. It's subtitled. Folks, it's nice. It's a good movie. It's not going to win any Oscars, but that was not the intention. Hiroshi Tanahashi's a decent actor. All right, give it a watch.
All right, I'll be sure to check it out sometime this weekend.
It is a light recommendation.
And as Matty pointed out in the beginning, NJPW now has their Tokon shop. Now, for those who don't know, Matty, what is this Tokon shop that Juice Robinson and Rocky Romero kept screaming about?
Basically, it's NJPWshop.com. It's literally an online shop. Basically, Tokon was an online hub for you buying the merch online, but it was only available for Japanese people, and you'd have to go through a middleman and go through that stuff. But they had just opened it, And I'm actually checking it out right now, as a matter of fact. And
Yeah,
now,
really
if you're a
tonight.
New Japan fan from around the world, you can and you will buy stuff from New Japan's shop. It is available and it is worldwide. And Renico, overpriced in his opinion. Hey, look. Okay, I'm looking at some of the prices. They have some trunks. They have shirts, 3,000 yen, tax included. $40 for a shirt.
$95 for an El Desperado Matty Kuma.
Yeah.
Also, there's not as much merch on here as I was expecting.
Yeah, not as much. No replica belts, but then again, I've heard the replica belts are an arm and a leg minimum. They have some underwear. They have masks. The Tiger mask is 6,000 yen or around $60 US. Look, I'm not going to. And they have masks. They have surgical, like, protective masks with Bullet Club on it. And for
there's
888 yen, $10. That is pricey.
Why are you?
That's pricey.
Why are you getting? Why are you getting?
What am I? Why am I getting what?
Where are you getting the yen amount from? I'm seeing dollar.
Because I think I'm getting the. Yeah, I'm getting the New Japan. I'm on the mobile
I'm at
version.
shop. I'm on shop.njpw1972.com.
I'm on shop.co.jp actually. So yeah, that explains the difference.
Yeah, you need to get onto the English site, my friend.
There we go. And site cannot be reached. Well, fuck you.
Yeah, there's really not much selection. They only have one hat, and that's LIJ black and white hat, which is $40.
Which for a hat's about what I expect to pay. So
There's
it's pricey with the tax and shipping. Yeah, it can be very overpriced. Yeah.
Yeah,
But but save yourself a couple of pennies, and there you go. You get yourself an LIJ hat, folks. There you go.
Yeah, let's see. There's Territory shirt for $30. LIJ class. Most t-shirts seem to be around $30.
Which, I mean, WWE merch usually hovers around $25, $30 anyways for shirts. So, a little overpriced, but so is WWE's merch. I mean, have you taken it like in Canadian replica belts like $600? So overpriced, when you compare it to the other people, that's
Hey, Matty.
Yo.
Do you want an Intercontinental Championship bum bag / fanny pack? It's only $50.
Oh,
$50.
God. Question. Do I get to toss it around like Naito?
It'll be more durable.
Send me the link. I might bookmark it later.
Also, the Liger Matty Kuma is already sold out.
Oh, wow. Not surprised at all on that. Anyway, moving right along there, T-Dub.
That is all the news I have for this week, unless you had something you would like to.
No, that's about it. I would say my thank yous and everything else, but we already did that shit at the beginning. Other than thank you for listening, and we will be back. Let's do some winners and losers and wrap this puppy up.
All right, my loser this week is racist ass Terry Boulder.
Because he goes on Twitter and quotes religious scripture because he doesn't believe the COVID.
Maybe during this COVID-19 business, brother, we don't need vaccines. We need prayer, brother.
You know what? At least he's not telling his parishioners that he can breathe the COVID away.
Also, to everybody still gathering in churches during this time, what the fuck is wrong with you?
No, T-Dub, this is pretty simple. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, and I hope you get fucked in hell, you fucking pastor. You fucking televangelist making fucking money.
Why are these people still going to these large gatherings?
Have you seen this video? Like, CNN's got the hockey stick mic, and they're taking it to a lady, and they're asking, aren't you afraid of getting the COVID? well, I'm drenched in baby Jesus' blood. He'll protect
Yes,
me.
I've seen that exact clip. It's just like, oh, what is this person's out there procreating? This person's procreating.
You know what? At that point, fuck them. Natural selection.
Here's the problem. That natural selection is going to hit the smart people too.
And if she survives and that person, smart person don't, murder charges.
Something that is just, oh.
Hey, in the States, they're considering that a terroristic threat. So you know what? Murder charges. If you have it and you spread that shit around, that person dies, you're fucked.
That's the
I'm
way it
okay
should be.
with
Like
that.
If you're knowingly spreading around a deadly disease, just it's just heinous.
You deserve to be in federal pound you in the ass prison. Anyway,
Matty, you're a loser.
My loser, COVID-19, Goldberg for he did not want to lose. He just wanted to get out of there. He was supposed to lose to Bray Wyatt in Saudi Arabia. Guess what? He thinks he should have won, and guess what? They bowed to him. Fuck you, Bill Goldberg. You almost fucked up the Fiend. Vince Russo and James E. Cornette, because as much as I did laugh at them, I was laughing at them for their pedanticness. And that's about it. Let's do loser. Let's do winners. T-Dub.
Everyone who showed up at WrestleMania to work, they all busted their asses off, and I appreciate the ref.
That's why I have WWE at last on my list of winners right there. Being the Elite, 2 matches in a tennis court in their backyard. They had a few of the workers that were stuck in California working. The thumbs up on that. And Excalibur on there, and Rick Knox as ref. Cool. Drew McIntyre for obvious reasons. Bianca Belair making her WrestleMania debut at the end of that tag match. That was cool. Edge, despite the fact that he had the worst match of the night, the fact that he wrestled at all should be applauded. I welcome you back. May you have better, may you and you should have better matches in the future. And WWE, because everyone showed up. If I don't have a hat on, but if I had my cap, it'd be off to you. Tina, one last plug. Your newest video about Mass Effect.
Yes, my Mass Effect 2 analysis. It's up on YouTube. Go check it out. TWK Reviews YouTube channel. It is about 20 minutes long, so it's, you may want to
one of your longer videos, actually.
Yes, and it took me quite a bit to edit it all together, including 17 hours of recording video game footage.
Not that he minded. Not that he minded doing that. He likes Mass
No,
Effect.
the recording the video game footage was one of the easier parts. Another one, the easiest part to me out of all of it was writing the script, because that just kept flowing and flowing and flowing. In fact, when I was editing the video together, I actually cut out bits and pieces of the review because I felt like it was getting a bit too bloated, and I wanted to just keep the pace going.
We were talking about that last week, and at that point, you had 2,000 words in the script. Usually, a script for you is around 1,000 words tops. So,
when I ended the script, when it was all said and done, the script is over 3,000.
That's how much he loves Mass Effect, folks.
Yeah, especially Mass Effect 2. It's one of my favorite games of all time, and I could have kept writing for about 3,000 more words, but I wanted to keep it to a certain length. And like I said, even when I was in the editing process, I had to cut it down just a bit more. So I probably shaved off around about 5 minutes from the review, from where it could have been, just to sort of keep the pace going and keep things flowing a bit better.
Makes sense to me. Of course, you want to. His next video could be out anytime. If it is out earlier for Patreon. So if you want to support that, patreon.com/TWK Reviews. The video is up on his TWK's YouTube, TWK Reviews. There you go. I have a tip jar, paypal.me/MattyJ316. You can follow us on Twitter at MattyJ316 and at TWK Official. I am also under that handle at MattyJ316 on Instagram. T-shirts, streamlabs.com/RVT Entertainment/merch. Buy the stuff. And of course, emails as always when we come back. WrestleCast@gmail.com. And that's it. That's it. That's it for now. A quick word, really, before we go. 537 episodes. We've gone some people. We've lost some people. We've done some stuff. We've lost some stuff. Like I said at the top of the show, this is not the end. This is a hiatus. This is a decision where we both feel, hey, because from this point, things are going to slow down. It's literally going to be a slog, and we'd rather be back full and ready to go with some news and some stuff. It's going to suck where it's like there's going to be some breaking news and we won't be able to talk about it, but we will be back, hopefully, in time for for 2 shows at the very least with the Minion, hopefully. But whenever they put a ton of people in front of a crowd, and they put a ring in there, and there's going to be wrestling, and there's going to be, all that stuff, TWK and I will be back, and we will review it. We'll preview it, review it, and all that stuff. And we have our stuff next week. I'll be at Phantom Reuse with the Shades. They're on right now. So as soon as we're done here, I'm grabbing some popcorn and going straight over there. But until then, thank you. Sincerely, between myself and T-Dub, if you want to say some words, T-Dub, you could go right ahead.
Thank you all for joining us for all these WrestleCasts. And for anyone who's only joined us for the past few months, we thank you as well. And we hope that once we return, you'll join us once again for our random shit talking.
Well, we'll be here when the coast is clear. We'll be here and all that good stuff. But that'll be it. We thank you very much for tuning in, as always. It's been a blast, and we will be back.
And if you want some streams, I'll be streaming on this very channel this Tuesday, or sometime around 8 p.m.-ish, depending on when I get home from work.
Yeah.
And I think I'm going to switch the games up and go for something that me, Matty, and everyone else will be a lot more familiar with. Let's just say things are going to get a little paper.
Nice. And good call considering the recent announcements, by the way. The recent news, I should say. But tell them who you love. But that'll be it for now. And we will be back. And of course, I'm on TWK Riffs. We got 2 episodes of Ranger Recap before Beast Morphers goes on hiatus for the summer. And, don't worry about us. You folks stay safe. I know I'll stay safe. I know T-Dub will do his damnedest to stay safe. We'll be back, folks. Trust me. But on behalf of my good buddy TWK...
Until next time, this is TWK of TWK Reviews, telling you to work your gimmick.
My name is Matty Jay, reminding you to help professional wrestling. Support your independent promotion as soon as possible. We'll see you next time on this show, and I will be on TWK Riffs on Sunday. And I will keep you abreast of my adventures and misadventures. Have a good one. Have a safe one. Bye, everybody! Bye!
What the hell was that?
And may the Schwartz be with you.